All right, so the EXORCIST reframe. So how to handle the AI is scary, creepy, we don't like AI, objection in your cold calls and sales calls. So one of the interesting things that I was talking about with my wife this morning is I'm like, the old movies like The Exorcist, The Ring, if you watch them again today, they're not scary anymore. And we're all like, why is that? And it really reminded me of how people approach AI. It's really scary now, especially for white collar industry, especially people that think they're getting replaced, truck drivers, all these things. And there's legitimate reasons for that. But in the same way that movies are not as scary as they are today, one thing, makeup isn't as good, but we're just desensitized to it as a culture and on the individual level. So we've seen the movie, we've seen commercials, we've seen memes, makeup, like we can tell the special effects, we've seen behind the scenes, we know the actresses. Like AI is a lot more frightening if you haven't worked with it. And once you work with it, you see the strengths and weaknesses and the limitations, you become like desensitized to it to a certain extent. And also, I think the future is going to be marked by our ability to categorize and work with AI and cryptographically secure human-to-human communication, because as soon as like AI gets good enough that we can't tell the difference, there's going to be ways to tell the difference. And also, I think that it's important to plan for that from an organizational perspective. So when you bring AI into an organization, it's to increase the quality of the user experience, and ideally without using deception. So outside of some industries where it's expected to use deception, so like the sex industry, for example, I predict there's going to be tremendous blowback and reputational risk to synthetic conversations that are undisclosed because they fundamentally undermine trust. But basically what you say on sales calls and on cold calls is just like a movie from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, isn't scary the way it is today because you've seen it a bunch of times, because you know that it's a movie. It's going to be the same thing with AI. You're going to start working with it. It's going to have a better user experience, but you're going to clearly delineate, especially for a larger corporation like an insurance company, for example, it's clearly delineated what's a computer and what's a human, and the AI is put in the service of a better human experience so that the human beings can triage and go where they're needed. And this is a really good way to get people that are naturally apprehensive, but it's in their best interest to start using this technology. This happens on cold calls a little bit, but certainly on sales calls, this is a major, major, major objection. This is the best way that I found to deal with it. I hope it works for you, and have a great day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.